Alright, what I'm going to do is put you behind the chainsaw and show you how to cut some wood. We need some dead wood to burn, fireplace and maple syrup. Most of these are going to be small, but you're going to get the idea how to drop a tree and to keep your blade from pinching when you're cutting it up. First thing we want to do when we want to cut a tree down, what way does it want to go? And it wants to go towards that direction. You can notch these to make them go the way you want, pretty much. So maybe 80% of the time, sometimes you'll get where you can't. I want to drop it right between those two right there. So I'm going to notch it. And when you notch it, you want to go over a quarter of the way, but not up half the way. And the bigger the tree, the less depth you have to go. So let's get a notch in this, and then we'll get it dropping that way. Alright, now we put a notch in there, and we're going to drop it. You can see the notch that way, it's going to go that way, so we're going to drop it right between those two. Now we want to come back above that notch. Here's the notch here. We want to cut in here and come down and let the force of that tree come down itself. Okay, there you go. Now when you're cutting these up, what you got to watch is for a pinch. So on a tree like this, a branch, we can just chop it right up in our logs. When you're like this, down here, you're going to have to come up from underneath, because all that force that tree is going to pinch if you keep going down. So we do a reverse cut on that. Like that. That would drop the tree and keep that from dropping on you and pinching your blades. This is for maple syrup. We can leave the logs a little longer if we want. Just work right up that log, getting all these branches. Like this one here, up again, up underneath so it don't pinch your blade. Now that one's up by the hill, you go straight down. Another thing you want to do is make sure you don't hit dirt or your chainsaw is done. Your blades are dull. So you can go halfway down. You can rotate that log, come up from underneath the same hole. There, you're done. Now you can take the stump off. that gives you an idea of how to cut a tree up. That was a small one. We got a little larger one right over there that we'll take down, and we'll continue to show you how to do this. And wants to come back towards the ditch. We're gonna notch it, see if we can't make it go towards our path here where we can cut it up. And this one's gonna be a little tougher. It's one of them, like I said. I think you can make trees go the way you want up to a certain point. Let's get our notch in there the way we want her to go and see what we can do. Again, when you're making your pie slice in it, you want to go at least quarter of the way, not half the way. As the tree gets bigger and you go half the way, that's a lot of weight up there. So don't go half the way. In a smaller tree like this, you could probably get away with it. Well, let's see if we can make her go that way. There she goes. Perfect. So here's a tree that I want to go back towards the riverbed here, and we brought it the way we wanted her. Now on these bigger ones, again, you want to cut almost all the way through until, then once we cut the log off, we can rotate that and come up from the other side. See how it's pinching there? And we'd have to come up underneath it. As soon as you start to see that log pinch, get that blade out of there. You're done. I'm going to show you what I mean by coming up underneath. Starting to pinch. Come up from underneath. Now we can finish this tree off. See how she's starting to pinch? There you go. Now we cut it halfway, we rotate it, just come up from underneath. Finish it off so it's not going to pinch on you. That log's done. Took us what, 7 minutes maybe? How we notched this. We notched her not quite halfway. We brought it out this way because we know we want to go back that way towards the riverbed, and we got to fall that way. So that's perfect. Like I said, you can do that on 85% of the trees Those trees that are just leaning the wrong way, you just might as well take them that way. But you never want it to fall into another tree. Then you got to walk them down, and that's pretty tough. You take and you cut off 2.5 feet from the base, let her drop 2.5 feet, and you keep walking it down until you can get it to fall. I've done that on many trees. It's not as safe, and it's a lot more work. I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoy this small video on how to take timber down with a chainsaw. As you can see, got a lot of maple trees, and we're gonna do a little maple syrup this year. So we need this firewood, and this stuff that's been standing up, that's the best. If you can take the bark off the bottom 2 feet all the way around the tree and let it die, and it sit for a year, next year it's gonna be nice, ready to burn, at least in 2 years. And we need the smaller stuff for this maple sap that you can see here. As we got our sap coming out, you see it dripping. You can hear it in the bucket. So we've got just a few trees, probably got 10 buckets maybe. That's going to give us plenty. We want 40 gallons to boil down to 1 gallon, so it's 40-to-1 ratio approximately. So we're going to just go check a few trees out and maybe cut a little bit more wood.